Hello, greetings. Welcome back to Queen Elle 79. This is Queen Elle speaking, and I have been having a time, I tell you, trying to bring this content to you with regard to this three-card spread. As you'll see from the subject, I'm doing a three-card spread on my daughter. She's 18, almost 19, and I was trying to do this video and I may have been talking, I'm thinking 10 minutes, but it may have been even longer. Probably too long for me to just be at the first card of the spread. So, anyway, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad that we're able to meet again and for me to do this spread. So, the three-card spread is on self care, and the three cards represent body, mind, and spirit. And like I thought that I was saying in my previous pseudo recording was just that, I mean, with my daughter being almost 19, and even though I'm in my 40s, I do remember being that age. I remember just kind of, you're still trying to get your bearings and trying to figure out what this life has to offer you and what you have to offer the world. And that's something that I realized, like, I did not know. No one informed me of how important self-care is. That's something I would say over the past decade that I've kind of struggled with finding that balance. The whole work-life balance has been a trend in recent years, but I think that's something that if you teach your children and encourage others, even other adults, to practice self care and to not just love on yourself, but to make sure that every aspect of yourself, your well being as a whole, to make sure that it's all intact. That is what will keep you going as you move along this journey called life. So, without further ado, I'm doing this three-card spread. It's on self care, as I said. And like I say in my videos, for right now, I'm using this universal Waite tarot deck. I was trying to decide between the original Rider-Waite tarot deck, which is the most widely recognized, or this universal one. And I saw, as far as content of the cards, I saw similar reviews. But as far as the most recent mass reproduction of the cards, there were a lot of negative reviews on Amazon from people as recent as February of this year, saying that it seemed like the cards were not cut the right way. Some of the coloring was off. So that just steered me away from the original Rider-Waite deck. I will eventually get one because I do want to have one. And I actually have a couple more that I'm really interested in that have some different eclectic artwork that I'm really into. So anyway, I'm using this Universal Waite deck. And I had already pulled the first card because I thought that I was recording before. So this first card, and this is based off of the body, and I'm really looking forward to just kind of delving into it some more with my daughters. I want her to look at the images on the cards just to see for herself what is going on in the cards. And just like how us as tarot readers, it's our job to use what we see in the card and whatever sticks out to us, use our intuition and what the guides are telling us about the cards, use our third eye to pinpoint what is relevant to our querent or the person that we're reading for. So in this case, I was starting to really discuss this some more. You'll see all of the yellow, and I was so excited when I pulled this one, the High Priestess, to help my daughter practice self-care for her body. Because the High Priestess, I mean, that's it. That's the High Priestess. So I'm not sure what the B and the J represent, so that's something I will actually look into. There's this number 2 at the top, and I know of some numbers that hold some type of value to my daughter, but I'm not sure about the number 2, so I will discuss that with her off camera. And then just looking at the colors, so you all know that I love yellow, and to me, yellow, I think of the sunlight, the sun rays just beaming on me, and just the warmth that they bring. And I think of how they encourage growth to occur. So I love looking at that. She's holding the Torah in her arms. She has a cross on her chest. And looking at that headdress, I love it. I mean, the High Priestess, she looks divine. She looks so regal. And looking at her garment, so the cloak that she has on, the gown that she has on, they almost simulate water flowing. And so, what I picture is whenever I think of water flowing, I think of life. I think of just constant growth and movement. And so if we're thinking about how this card is representative of practicing self-care of the body, then I think that it's about keeping yourself in a high regard, maintaining your highest standards when it comes to your body. And I feel like this is definitely especially important when you're young, when you're a young adult and you're embarking on this, journey of adulthood throughout your life, that chapter of your life. It's important to really, you know, um, keep your standards high, set the bar really high so that you don't, ever stoop lower than who you are. Don't step, beneath yourself. You don't have to go there. So that's what I love about this. As Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. And I love it, the high priestess. Also, looking at the foliage that's behind her. And to me, that's another symbol of growth and just thinking of preserving yourself. So that's something else that I think of with this card. So the next one is the mind. And so if we think about practicing self-care of the mind, which is something I was talking about in my last video, that mental health is something that I didn't realize how seriously I needed to take it. So now that I meditate, it is something that is of value to me, and being in control of ourselves, our temperament, the way that we interact with others, and the way that we handle conflict, and being proactive about certain things instead of always reactive, and just choosing how we react. So those are things that I think about when it comes to self-care of the mind. But let's see what the card has to say. And just so you all are aware, I did center myself before I started pulling cards for this spread. Okay, so when it comes to, and this one is really interesting, this is another one that I will discuss with my daughter off camera, um, the relevance of this one. So this one has a number 3. This is the 3 of Swords. And I actually, so I mentioned in a video from last night that I have, in some cases, accidentally stumbled upon a description of a card, just inadvertently. Like, I really did not want to do that because I don't want anyone else's perspective or their takeaway or, insight into a card to overshadow my own intuition. I feel like my intuition is strong enough that it will shine through, but I still don't want it to be tainted at all or skewed by somebody else's view until I've already developed my own opinion first. So this one, the 3 of Swords, I did actually read something about it recently, and I know that this one is specific to um, how to deal with hardship. And for this one to be the card about self-care of the mind, I know that it will be important for her, as it is for most of us, to um, just to be careful and guarded and to protect her mind when dealing with hardship, heartbreak, etc. And to not give into it, to not allow it to weigh her down. Because, so I see like the clouds and the rain, and those times do come, but it's important to protect herself, and to, it's all about how we handle situations. The situations will happen, but it's all about how we handle them that will really shape who we are for the rest of our lives. So the last one is spirit. So this would be self-care of the spirit, and that's essentially what I'm doing right now. Me presenting content and giving of myself, it's actually helping me preserve my own spirit, and it's a mutually beneficial thing. So I'm really appreciative of this opportunity. So with regard to, and if you see any shaking, I apologize. My laptop is propped up on something. I'm still kind of winging it, guys. So please bear with me until I have the appropriate equipment. Thank you. So the next one, like I said, is spirit. So this is practicing self care of the spirit. Okay, and this one, I like this. So this one is the star, and the number is the Roman numeral that is 17. And as you know from my previous videos, I love stars. I love the color yellow, just what it means. I love it in artwork. You won't ever see me wear the color yellow. I don't like that. However, I might start incorporating some yellow jewelry or something because I just really love it. It just really speaks to me. So with regard to this one is to represent the spirit and self-care of the spirit. And so when I think of self care, I also think of self preservation. A lot of people, want others to be the martyr and to be the one that's just selfless to a fault. And that's a saying for a reason, to a fault. So it's important to maintain your own self care in all these areas just to be able to get through life and to pursue those dreams. So this one is self care of the spirit. And let's see the star. I see a woman and she's one with nature, which I love. I see a bird. I see the several stars. So there are 7 smaller stars, and then there's the one bright, shining yellow star. There's the bird in the distance, as I mentioned, on a tree that's in full bloom. Um, okay, something that just happened, the numbers, that Roman numeral 17, it almost jumped out at me. It just kind of like hovered out like three-dimensional, which was really really interesting. So yeah, so that card is really interesting. I look forward to kind of showing this to her to see if it speaks to her and what she feels it means to her with regard to her spirit. I see just a lot of growth and all of the bloom, the flowers in full bloom, and thinking about in the water. So this woman, she's adding water to this brook, and there's water that she's pouring with her left hand that's just kind of flowing into the brook, and then she's pouring water directly into it. And with regard to the star, the way the illustrator drew her, if we're thinking about self care of the spirit, then I think that this is representative of just keeping that star shining bright and feeding into your spirit and nurturing your spirit so that it can continue to grow and blossom, and just kind of encouraging her to, pardon me, encouraging her to just delve into the things that are feeding her spirit, to find out what they are, because we don't come into this world knowing exactly what things speak to us. They have to come to us in dreams, in conversations with others, in our observations of others, just a spirit just coming to you either in a physical form or through your third eye. And it's important to really take heed. It's important to be in a position where you're willing to receive and accept what guidance you feel is coming to you, from whatever source it's coming from, really. But what I take away from this card is that for her self care of her spirit, it's important for her to continue to feed her spirit and to nurture it so that she can be that bright star that we see on the card. So that is it for this video. I really thank you all again for joining me. I did want to make this one short and sweet, so this is pretty short and sweet for me. So something that I wanted you all to know, and I'll mention this in future videos, is starting next week, I want to start a series. So we'll start Tuesday is actually, Tuesday is a full moon, next Tuesday, the 10th of March. So I will do a full moon spread and discuss some rituals that I'm considering doing on full moons, which I love full moons. So I will do full moon spreads moving forward on every full moon. I will do new moon spreads. I know we just had one that passed, but I will do new moon spreads on every new moon. There are just so many different spreads that I feel are speaking to me, and that's what I want to do. Whatever speaks to me, whatever my intuition is leading me to do, that's what I will do. So I'm just thankful to be able to share this journey with you all. And I hope that you all give me feedback when you watch my videos. Let me know if there are some topics that you would like me to discuss. If you are kind of vibing with my style of tarot reading, then let me know if you would like me to do a reading with you. I can do some readings that are via email, over the phone. I'm pretty flexible in that regard. So sorry about that. So yes, so just let me know what you want. Please feel free to visit my Instagram. It's still under development, but feel free to visit me there at Queen Elle 79. I will start doing a fingers crossed a daily pull. It might not be daily, but I hope to work up to that point. So look forward to that. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again for joining me today. Have a blessed afternoon. It's March 3rd, 2020. Peace.